Welcome to Thirsty TV, where we're pouring out all things pop culture. My name would be Zach, and today we have a special one for you. We're going to review Mission Impossible Fallout. So here we are 22 years after the first Mission Impossible movie wowed viewers, and Tom Cruise is still lighting that fuse on his character Ethan Hunt. However, this outing seems to be lacking something overall, and some people believe that it's really not worthy to be connected to the rest of the Mission Impossible franchise. The movie opens in Belfast with Ethan in the ropes of a bad dream, one that involves his ex-wife, who he separated himself from to protect. He's woken up by a knock at the door and some code words are exchanged, to which Ethan is now handed a special device that gives him a new message, or a new mission, should he choose to accept it. In this briefing, Ethan finds that there's a bad guy terrorist who has made 3 nuclear bombs, and they have to go stop him because he's trying to blow up a bunch of stuff and reset the world. In this bad guy's motive, it's actually presenting a pretty unique philosophical question, but it's still bad. The next scene shows Ethan, Benji, and Luther all in Berlin attempting to secure 3 plutonium orbs. These orbs are destined to be used in the nuclear bombs that I mentioned earlier. In the series of events that ensues, they lose possession of the plutonium orbs in the confusion, which of course sets up the premise for the rest of the movie. Now, there are plenty of action scenes, but I probably didn't have to say that, right? However, some believe that this installment actually lacks that heart-pounding, nail-biting, hovering over the edge of your seat feeling that you get from other Mission Impossible movies. There's been reviews saying that the motorcycle chase was unexciting, and of course, most of the action scenes really didn't have a lot of oomph. I will say, there was good running. I mean, in a lot of Mission Impossible movies, you see a lot of Tom Cruise running, and there was a lot of that, so I like that. That's good. As for the fight scenes, Tom Cruise is matched up against Henry Cavill for a lot of them. Given that Cavill has a whole head's height on Cruise and several pounds of muscle, it can be tough to believe that Ethan Hunt could actually take this guy on in a fight. But then again, it is Ethan Hunt. But some people see this as one of those instances where you kind of just hope the audience accepts it and then we move on. However, the biggest critique of this film is actually the writing. In the beginning of the movie, we're introduced to a faceless terrorist, okay? But then it's basically no time until the viewer finds out who this is, so the suspense really isn't there. So it was basically a little too easy to figure out who the bad guy was, but maybe that's exactly what they wanted to do. Personally, I'm actually not too hard on movies like this that try to take a break from the tropes of a franchise. If you produce 6 movies in a row that are the same thing, then what value are you presenting? So I understand the criticisms, but I'm glad to see a breath of fresh air in the Mission Impossible franchise. I actually saw Mission Impossible Fallout on the Paramount Pictures lot in the Paramount Theater. I was lucky enough to know some people that knew some people, and we got in to watch the screening of it on the day it released. And the guy next to me apparently knew some of the writers and stuff, and he explained some of the storylines and whatnot and pretty much spoiled the whole movie for me, but I'm not going to get into that. But really, this whole movie had a lot of interesting things surrounding it. This movie actually cost a lot to make, and it didn't help that Tom Cruise broke his ankle in filming, and they had to suspend that for like 3 months or something so he could recover. I mean, say what you want about the guy, but he does his own stunts, which is pretty cool, except his agents hate it. But that's about that. Overall, a lot of people were not happy about this movie. I don't know exactly where I stand, but there have been a lot of reviews saying that Mission Impossible Fallout is the best of the franchise yet. However, a lot of people within the franchise's fan base don't really think so. It is fair to say that it took the storyline about an hour of pretty low-tone scenes to actually get into some action. And a lot of times that big setup can be worth the punch, but some people are saying that the action scenes really weren't worth the wait. I mean, it can be tough to defend action scenes that lack in, action. This movie was definitely one that a lot of people were waiting the whole summer for, and it seems that it kind of disappointed some. Regardless, I would give Mission Impossible Fallout a 3 out of 5 stars. It's a good watch if you have some spare time. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Mission Impossible Fallout. Be sure to let us know in the comments down below what you thought about the film, and if you haven't seen it, do you plan on seeing it? And since it's been such a splitting movie, I want to know, did you like it? Are you a Mission Impossible fan? Did you not like it? based on the criteria aforementioned. Basically, I just want to know what every person thinks, okay? So please let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for checking out Thirsty TV, where we're pouring out all things pop culture. Be sure to subscribe if you're thirsty for more.